Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear friends, yesterday we had started this lecture series on management of everyday life, and we had discussed what is the real meaning of the word management. Management does not mean business management. Business management is only a part of the whole management phenomena, and management deals with every aspect of life. And the most important thing is that we are thinking and getting to know about the management of the whole world, but we don't know how to manage ourselves and manage our own life. And that is why this managing our own life, everyday life, with a view to get maximum success, maximum happiness, maximum peace, maximum knowledge, that is what we had discussed yesterday. That management of everyday life, we will be talking, thinking. In the background of the fourth wave of management, that is, first wave was British style of management, second was American style of management, third was the Japanese style of management, and now the fourth wave, the holistic style of management based on Vedantic philosophy, based on which we are going to discuss this topic. And then we had talked that the most important tool of the management in the earlier times used to be work study, out of which method study was the main thing, and method study, the most important thing was critical examination. The tool was critical examination, and we tried to apply critical examination. Critical examination with respect to method will give us result. Critical examination with regard to the means will give us some result. But critical examination with regard to purpose gives maximum result. Because sometimes we find we are doing some activities which are not necessary. We can eliminate. And so that gives us maximum productivity. So we were trying to critically examine what is life. It's a span between birth and death. And what is the purpose of life? Why are we born? Where do we want to go? These are the basic fundamental questions which unfortunately, the fundamental basic questions which we have never asked. We have just forgotten the sacred mission for which we came to this earth. There is a story of a Japanese boy working as a servant in a remote village in Japan. That day, the landlord was out for some work. The landlady got into trouble. There is nobody who can fetch the essential items from the market, and the market is in the town which is quite far. So she articulated this problem. She asked this Japanese servant, can you go to the nearby town and fetch certain essential items, because they are now not there in our store and they are very much urgently required. And my husband has gone out of station. Then the boy said, yes, surely, I'll go. He thought it's a good opportunity. He will get to and fro fare, plus the privilege of seeing so many new things. So he said, okay, I'll bring the items. So he took the list of items to be brought, went to the nearby town. Now he had never visited the town. He's just a village boy. And there he saw so many big shops with glass windows. He was flabbergasted, strange, and so many new things he's seeing, and so many sweet shops. Then so many clothes shop, so many clothes, and all types of items hanging there. So he went on seeing, and in between he found there is a Mina Bazaar going as a fair. And so there he saw a magic show, and then he had a flywheel. So he sat down on the flywheel. Then there is another show. Likewise, he went on spending. He didn't know when the time. He didn't know when the evening approached. Suddenly there was an announcement from the central communication system that the last bus to that village is going. All those who want to go, please immediately come to the bus stand. Huh? Last bus? Immediately went to the bus stand, boarded the bus, and came to the house. And there the landlady was standing with a stick. Huh? You went in the morning and coming now so late? Why you are so late? Then the boy said, what to do? When I went there, I saw so many new things. I had never seen so many. So I didn't know. When the evening approached, whole day spent like that, I didn't know at all that the evening has come. Because there was an announcement, so I could come to know. Okay, now don't do like this from future. Where are the items? Items that I haven't brought. Then why did you go? I completely forgot. You went to the market for purchasing items and you did everything else, but you did not bring the items. This is exactly what we are doing. We have come to this earth to get knowledge, to get bliss, to realize self, but we have forgotten and we are doing everything else. Enjoying life, going here and there. So many things we are doing, accepting the purpose for which we had come. आया था किस काम से तू सोया चादर तान कर समय हुआ अब जाग गाफिल अपना आप पहचान रे. We have forgotten the purpose for which we had come. So unless and until we know the purpose, we will not be able to get the maximum out of the life that has been given to us. What is true success? We want success. Every one of us wants success. But we do not know what is true success. We'll make a lot of efforts, so many ambitions we want to achieve, and sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. At the end we find, by the time we get it, it is no longer interesting for us. We want next thing. And then we go for that thing, again go mad after that, and by the time we get it, we want the next thing. So it goes on. What is the ultimate purpose? What is the ultimate success? What is the ultimate fulfillment of life? Alexander the Great, when he came to India, he was told by his master, when you are going to India, please bring a very good gift for us, our country. What should I bring? Other items are available in various countries, but India produces great saints. So bring a good saint from India. And Alexander came. He was in search of a good saint. One day he was passing through a forest. He saw a saint sitting on a bit of rock, meditating. And he was very much impressed by the bright face, illuminating face. So he sat down for some time. And when the sage opened the eyes, he talked with him, full of knowledge. Then Alexander became very happy and he said, please come to my country. I will build a beautiful palace for you. I'll give you beautiful clothes. I'll give you very nice food. Please come to my country. The saint smiled and said, my dear emperor, I don't need anything that you have told. I am very happy. I don't need any clothes. The sky is my cloth. I don't need to wear any cloth. I don't need any food. This tree is giving me beautiful fruits, and this river is giving beautiful water. And I am staying here under the tree. I am very happy here. I don't want to go anywhere. No. You must come to my country. I have promised my guru, my master, that I will bring a good saint, and I have been very much impressed. You have to come. I will not come. You have to come. I will not come. Now, Alexander was not in a habit to listen to anybody's no. Nobody had the guts or the courage to refuse him. So he became very much excited. If you don't come, I will cut out your head. Immediately he drew out the sword. And that sage started laughing very loudly. You fool, that is the most foolish thing you ever said. Don't you know? Your sword cannot pierce me. Don't you know the fire cannot burn me? Don't you know the air cannot dry me? Don't you know the water cannot melt me? I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Nainam chindati shastrani, nainam dahati pavakah, na chainam kledantyapo, na shoshati marutah, achedyoyam, adayoyam, akledyo shoshevacha, nitya saragata sanu, achaloyam sanatana. I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Normally, when the sword came out from the sheath of Alexander, the person who would be standing in front of him would collapse out of fear. Here, the reverse thing happened. That sage started laughing loudly, and Alexander became so much afraid that the sword fell down from his hands. And then the sage said, "You fool, you want me to take to your country? I can see through my third eye. You yourself are not going to reach your country." And the history says Alexander could not reach his country. On the way, he got a very, very peculiar type of fever which nobody could diagnose, a peculiar type of disease which nobody could diagnose, and he had to die in harness without reaching his destination. But before his death, he called his subordinate and said, "I am not going to live now. It seems now I have to prepare for death. So when I die, when you cremate me, please see that my hands are open like this, kept open like this." Why? So that let the whole world receive the message. Alexander conquered the whole world, but could not conquer himself. So he is going empty-handed. And that sage conquered himself. So he is going at the time of death, he is laughing and smiling. Let the whole world receive the message. What is true success? What is true success? At the last, if you conquered the world, you got gold medals, you have achieved so many things, you have been having a package of 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, whatever it is, any number of fixed deposits, beautiful latest model car, everything will be left here. Only thing that will go is the karmas that you have done, the action that we have done, that will go with us beyond the grave. And based on that, our next birth will be decided. What type of birth you will take, where will you take. The whole thing, we are calling it destiny. There is nothing called destiny. Swami Vivekananda said, you are the creator of your own destiny. Don't go to an astrologer and ask, please tell me my destiny. No. Don't try to know your destiny, try to change your destiny. How it can be changed? If my present is made up of my past karmas, if my present destiny is created by my own past karmas, by my own past purushartha efforts, that very thing proves the future prarabdha, the future destiny will depend upon my present karmas, present purushartha. And so, don't try to know your destiny, try to change your destiny. You are the creator of your own destiny. That is the message of Vedanta. Depend on yourself. So with your actions, whatever actions we do, on that will depend upon the future. So management of birth. We start from management of birth. We don't have any control. Management of birth will be controlled by my mom. Isn't it? But no. Our actions will decide what type of mom I will get. Our actions in this life will decide where I will be born, whether as a human being or as a dog or as a cat. And if as a human being, in what type of family. Everything will be decided by my karmas. So when management of birth comes, our efforts lies to this extent that we should do good actions, try to do good actions, try to take good actions, so that we are born with favorable circumstances, so that we can pursue our ultimate goal of reaching the infinite knowledge, infinite existence, infinite bliss, as we told yesterday. We can follow that path under more favorable circumstances. Shuchitam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Vijayate, says the Bhagavad Gita. Those who have done good works, they are born in a good family, in a spiritual based family, so that they can continue the spiritual practices that they had been following. So this much of management of birth is in your hand. The rest depends upon your mom. But that is required. Swami Vivekananda told in America in his lecture, whatever I am is because of my mother. Mother Bhuvaneshwari Devi, she prayed and prayed and prayed day and night so that a spiritual son will be born to him who will be great. And for that, she prayed and worshipped Shiva in Benares. And that is how Swamiji says, I was born. And then he says, this is the most important thing that we have to do. Our mothers, they have to see that the children are born with prayers. And then Swamiji also warns, the children who are born accidentally, without being preceded by the prayers, they become a menace to the society. The children who are born without prayers being done by their mothers, it is they who become a menace to the society. And those children who are born with prayers, it is they who become blessing to mankind. Swamiji gives his own example. In fact, all the great people, Jijabai prayed that a son be born who will be doing good to humanity. Just the other day, a lady mother came to me, a young mother. She said, I had decided I will not have a child. But after seeing Shivaji's play, I have changed my prayer. No, let me have one son who will be great like Shivaji. So she changed the prayer now. So there are so many people. This mother's prayer, they help. Once, a young woman came to Socrates with a babe of 3 years. She asked, when should I start educating my child? Then Socrates asked, what is the age? She said 3 years. And Socrates said, you have come 3 years late to me. Because the education starts from day one. Now that is Western concept. But the Indian concept is education starts from -6 months. Yes. Now they have found out scientifically that in the womb, the child gets so much of knowledge. And that is why they have got started special cassettes and CDs for pregnant mothers and special training programs for pregnant mothers to be, the education is being given to the children who are within the womb. The education is starting from -6 months when they are in the womb. A very peculiar thing happened once. So many people come to us for counseling and advice and all that. Once a young girl came to me. She said, at that time I was in Rajkot. I have come all the way from Surat just to get your advice. Then she said, it is my heart's desire. I am already pregnant. Now it's my heart's desire that I should give birth to a son who will become a Brahmagyani and will teach me Brahmagyan. And for that, I am ready to do whatever you will say. I am ready to do. Anything that you say, I will be able to do. But I have to do. I want this one. I was very astonished. She was from a village near Surat. So, they are looking like a very ordinary girl. But she had this desire. I had never got this type of question. So, I was little taken aback. What to do? Suddenly I remembered one old woman. She had told her own daughter who was pregnant. She had told, you try to read Srimad Bhagavata day and night. Then you will give birth to the children like Prahlad and Dhruva. And she followed the advice, and really, she had a child who later on became a great devotee of the Lord. This case I knew. So that suddenly came to my mind. So then I gave her the prescription. Okay, whomsoever God, whatever form of God appeals to you, you take up that form of God, meditate on that God day and night, take His name day and night, read the books of spiritual books day and night. When you are tired of reading the books, then take the name of the Lord. When you're tired of that, listen to music, listen to devotional songs. When you're tired of that, you meditate. So likewise, saturate your mind 24 hours with spiritual vibrations, and you will get some effect. This is what I told, and I forgot about her. After 1.5 years, or about 2.5 years, I received a letter asking for an apology for not writing to me so far. And then she writes, the same girl, that I took that advice and I followed the advice literally. And I'm glad to tell you, really a very good child was born to me. Beautiful. And right from the birth, he was a very different type. He would take me by the hand and take to the worship room and tell me to sing, tell me to do bhajan, tell me to sing the name of the Lord. And then the other day some monks had come from Himalayas. They said, वो तो हमारी पार्टी का है. देखकर ही बोले ये हमारी पार्टी का है. There are some signs that he is destined to become. He is a sign of a Brahmagyan. So she was so happy. Then she remembered, हाँ ये लोग बोल रहा है ब्रह्मज्ञानी है. मैं तो स्वामी जी के पास गई थी, ब्रह्मज्ञानी की बात कही थी. Then she wrote, I should have told you that I should have told. But मैं इतनी खो गई थी. I was so much lost. Day and night was spending with the child that I forgot to tell you. But anyway, I was very happy. Again she has forgotten. Now no more news. And I hope. But this is what we have observed. If the pregnant mothers, they follow a good routine, they take spiritual food through the mouth, through the ears, and then they give these samskaras of the mother, they percolate down to the child. So this management of birth, we start from management of birth. How to do management of birth? Number one, on our part, we can do good actions in this life so that we are born next birth. And then those pregnant mothers, they can start like this, educating the children. And then after that, they have to again take precautions that the good samskaras that they have given, out of peer pressure, the children, they do not get lost in the outside society. They have to give protection, at the same time give freedom. It's a very peculiar thing. If you just give protection and don't give freedom, the child will not grow. It will be stuffed. The progress will be stuffed. So we have to strike a balance. We will come to that when we talk about management of relationships. So this is only thing that we can just now talk about the management of birth in a very brief way. Now, so many people say we do not believe in this rebirth and reincarnation. It's a very theoretical aspect which we will not try to enter. But one of the arguments is that who says there is rebirth? And the most important thing is that if there is rebirth, why don't I remember the past birth? If really I had a past birth, why don't I remember? Then I ask, do you remember under what circumstances you were born? Do you remember what did you do at the age of 6 days? Or even at the age of 6 months? Do you remember? That means you are not existing at that time? People have told you this is how you are born, but do you remember how you are born? So you do not know about childhood. How can you remember about the past birth? But there are some children who remember. Dr. Stevenson has carried out a survey. Thousands of cases he has quoted in his books. The cases where the children, they have told what they were in the past birth and they were verified experimentally. They were taken to that place and then verified, yes, everything was true. So many cases, thousands of cases is quoted. There is a book by Dr. Reynolds Moody, Life After Life, in which he has quoted hundreds of examples, is given the experiences of life after, the experiences after death experiences or near death experiences, what they have done, what they have told. All these he has quoted in his book, Life After Life. So there are so many number of books coming out based on the scientific discoveries. Even if we don't believe in the theory of reincarnation and the law of karma, but if we believe, and there are so many evidences where we know that today or tomorrow the law of karma operates. The law of karma is supreme. The law of karma is supreme in the mental world, just as the law of gravitation is supreme in the physical world. And whether you believe it or not, the law will act. Some people say, we don't believe in the law of karma. These are all lighthouse principles. Stephen Covey has given that example. The steamer is going from the other side, and from the other side, the light is from one side, and the other side, there's some light coming, and then they think there's a ship coming, and so a wireless message is given, please move your ship by 20 degrees. And the wireless message comes from the other side, please move your ship by 20 degrees. And the captain got very much annoyed, and he gave the message, I am the captain of the ship, commanding you to move your ship by 20 degrees. Who is at the other end? And the message came, sir, I am a humble operator of the lighthouse. If you don't move your ship, it is you are going to be destroyed. If you don't believe in the law of karma, whether you believe it or not, the law of karma will operate. Go to the top floor of any multi-story building, go to the terrace and declare, I don't believe in the law of gravitation, and jump. What happens? Your photograph will be published in newspaper. So and so did not believe in the law of gravitation, yet the law of gravitation worked, and he died on the spot. Whether you believe it or not, the law of karma will operate. So these are all lighthouse principles. Law of karma says, as you sow, so you reap. If you plant a tamarind tree, you will get tamarind. If you plant a mango tree, you will get mango. If you do good action, you will get good result. If you do a bad action, you will get bad result. Today, tomorrow, or after 1,000 years, but you have to get it. If you have done something wrong, we have to get it. Is there no way out? Yes, there is a way out by divine grace. There is another aspect of it. But for most of the people who do not believe in God, who do not have divine grace, they will have to suffer the consequences of bad action. And similarly, if you have done good, today or tomorrow you are going to get the reward of your efforts. No effort goes in vain. If we remember this, we will never become depressed with our failures. We will never become depressed with our failures once we know there is nothing called failure. Failures are stepping stones to success. Every failure builds up as a stepping stone to success. Not a single effort goes in vain. They all meet and they all add up to the final result that we are going to have. It is a resultant of all the efforts that we have done. It may be we feel that the last effort that we put in, that got us the result. No. It was the resultant of all the effort that we had been putting. But the last became an instrument in getting the credit, that's all. Not a single effort goes in vain. Good or bad will have its own fruit. So youngsters, they ask, Swamiji, you are telling tamarind tree will give tamarind and mango tree will get mango. Good actions will bring good result and bad actions will bring bad result. You are a liar. My father is an honest man. He is driving a motorcycle and his colleague does all sorts of things driving a car. Where is your law of karma? So many people, they have got this problem, this question, very genuine question. I planted a mango tree yesterday and I am getting tamarind. I said, wait. The mango tree that you planted yesterday, you will get mango, but you will not get it today. Wait for 10 years. After 10 years, you will get mango. And this tamarind you are getting today is not of yesterday. 10 years back, you yourself had planted it. Sometimes we get We are doing good work and we are getting discredit and we are getting suffering. Oh, God is so unjust and all that we started. And where is this law of karma? Wait. The person who is enjoying now will be going to Tihar jail after 5 years. And you will be enjoying the fruits of the mango tree that you had planted. But wait for some time. Every action takes its own time to fructify. So don't worry. The time will come when you will get the result. So if we believe in the law of karma and theory of reincarnation are very much dependent on each other. Both go together. So if we have to remember, if we have to understand the law of karma, we have to understand the theory of reincarnation. Of course, some authors have told that we get the result of our own action in this very life. Beautiful books have come out where experimentally they have made the experiments, so and so XYZ had been following like this, and what was the result after 20 years? Those who were honest got good result over a period of 25 years, and those who were not honest, they got bad result. And that person has told in the book, all the characters that I have depicted, none of them is a fictional character. They are all real character, only names have been changed. And even today, most of them are living, and you can verify what happened to the police officer who was enjoying like anything, getting any amount of money with all sorts of illegal means, and cutting jokes at the person. That particular officer who wrote the book, he was an ordinary government officer, used to cut jokes. You are an honest man, you are driving motorcycle, I am driving a car. He used to cut jokes that this is not the age. Old mantra was satyameva jayate. The new mantra is asatyameva jayate. Try to follow the new mantra and become like me, you will enjoy. And this person remained silent. He just went on noting down all the statements and went on noting down all what happened. After 35 years, he brought out the book. What happened? He spent lakhs of rupees for the marriage of his daughter. Within 1 year, the daughter came back, because that is the type of samskaras she had received. So she was not manageable by her mother-in-law. So she came back. And because she came back, that had a very bad effect on her own mother, and she went to the intensive care unit. She had a heart attack. And the boy became a drug addict, because the father is getting so much of money. It has to be spent. Somebody should be there to spend also. And so he became a drug addict. And he was all full of misery. This person who was cutting jokes at the person who was honest, finally weeping. And like this, there are so many cases he has given. Case of a police officer, case of a mother-in-law who used to torture her daughter-in-law, how she got at the fag end of her life, how much she was ill-treated and how much suffering she had to undergo. So many cases he has given. So ultimately, but I believe that sometimes it may happen. Our scriptures also say that all the accumulated past actions, may become, some of the actions may fructify in the next birth also. But here we have got so many evidences from the scientists, even if we don't go for that. But one thing is certain, because of the holistic universe, as I told yesterday, if you exploit somebody, because you are not different from that person, tomorrow we are going to get a bad result out of it. If you are given a kick to somebody, that kick will come back to you with compound interest, not with simple interest. With compound interest, it comes back. So whenever we get some suffering in our life, how to manage suffering? Whenever we get suffering, Holy Mother Sharda Devi says, remember it is a blessing of God. Huh? Suffering, blessing of God, what is this? Because the thing is this suffering, whatever we get, is the result of our action. A is directly proportional. The R is directly proportional to A, where R is equal to result and A is equal to action. R is equal to reaction, A is equal to action. R is equal to result, A is equal to. So whatever fruits we are getting, result we are getting, is because of our own action. But it is multiplied by time. If you put 1 lakh of rupees for 1 year in the fixed deposit, you may get 8% result. If you get a good, so 8 to 9% you will get interest. But if you keep for 10 years, then the interest will be more. Similarly, if you get a result, if you say, no, I don't want result for 10 years, then you will get double the amount. If you say, I want result within 1 year, you will get only 10% higher. If you say, I don't want for 10 years, you may get almost the double. And if you say, t is equal to infinite, I don't want result, and anything multiplied by infinite becomes infinite, then you will get infinite result. That is the law of karma. If you say, I don't want any result, then you will get infinite result. That means you will get God. Working without any motive, I don't want result. Oh Lord, I have dedicated my work to you. I have dedicated my fruits of work to you. I have done my job. I have done my duty. I don't want anything. So t is equal to infinite. T infinite means the time lag between the action that is done and the result that you expect. Expected time is infinite. If you are ready to wait for infinite time, if you have done a very small job for God, and if you don't want any result out of it, you are going to get God, who is infinite. So this is the philosophy behind Karma Yoga. Converting karma into Karma Yoga. Converting work into Karma Yoga. How to do it? Just try to forget the result for the time being. Dedicate yourself only to work. Work for work's sake. Karmani vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmafal heturubhu mate sangosta akarmani. Don't get attached to the result of the action. Do your work as a duty. Forget about the result. The result will come automatically. It is bound to come by the sheer law of karma. But don't now think about it. It will come on its own way. So this is what we have to remember. The efficiency in action, it will come. Management of work, how it will become zero defect. Now they are talking about zero defect. Sri Krishna talked about in Bhagavad Gita. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrut duskrute tasmat yogaya yujjasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. What is yoga? Karmasu kaushalam. Dexterity in action. Dexterity in action, efficiency in action will lead you to God. Yoga, union of the individual self with the universal self. So that is management of work. Management of work can be done how? We don't have to do extra work. Whatever work we are doing, the same work at present is giving us suffering, is giving us bondage. It is becoming a karma bhoga. So one of our senior monks used to say, you are doing karma bhoga or karma yoga? All the action that we are doing is karma bhoga. Karma bhoga means whatever action we'll do, we are going to get result. If we do a good action, we'll get good result. If we do a bad action, we'll get bad result. That is karma bhoga. But if we have a spirit of detachment, where we say we dedicate our fruits of actions to the Lord and we remain silent, we remain away, then what happens? Because of this detachment, spirit of detachment, what happens? The result becomes infinite. We get God. Karma yoga, that work becomes a medium of giving us, taking us to the ultimate reality. So yesterday we had talked about 4 yogas. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga and Karma Yoga. And we are told every yoga is capable of independently taking us to the ultimate reality, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite existence. But a combination of all the 4 is better because maximum utilization of all the resources. So that is how the management of karma will come, and this will give us the final reward, the final success, that is conquest of death, becoming immortal. Ultimately, what is that counts? What is it that counts in life? We just saw Alexander the Great weeping. He has conquered the world but hasn't got anything. So, Kabir says, जब तू आया जगत में जग हंसे तू रोए ऐसी करनी कर चलो मरते समय तुम हंसो जग रोए. That is the purpose of life. When we were born into this world, the small child is born into the world, it starts crying. Starts crying. And all others are clapping. Oh, child is born. They are so happy. And when the child does not weep, all others start weeping. Something wrong. And so then they bring the doctor gives the injection, and when the child starts weeping, then all start laughing. Oh, now it is okay. This really happened. The child was not weeping, so the doctor said he is going to die. And then they brought some injection, then he started crying, then all started laughing. Jab tu aaya jagat mein, jag hase tu roe. You alone were weeping, and all others were laughing and smiling. Now live in such a manner, that is the management of everyday life. Live in such a manner that at the time of death, you are smiling. I have not done anything wrong to anybody. I am so happy. I have been doing Lord's work, and I have done nothing wrong to anybody. I have been trying to serve others, trying to serve the Lord, trying to take the name of the Lord, and now I am going to the abode of the Lord. How happy I am. I am going. So you leave this world smilingly. Let others weep. Oh, kitne अच्छे आदमी थे चले गए. Such a nice person has left. Let them weep. जब तू आया जगत में, जग हंसे तू रोए. ऐसी करनी कर चलो, मरते समय तुम हंसो जग रोए. That is the purpose for which you are born, which we forget. दो बातन को भूल मत, जो चाहे कल्याण, नारायण एक मौत को, दूजे श्री भगवान. Tulsidas ji says, don't forget these two things. दो बातन को भूल मत, जो चाहे कल्याण. If you really want good to accrue to you, don't forget these two things. What are the two things? दो बातन को भूल मत, जो चाहे कल्याण, नारायण एक मौत को, दूजे श्री भगवान. Don't forget death. And don't forget God. But we forget death. And we conveniently try to forget death. Very conveniently. Otherwise, Siddhartha, yesterday we told, Siddhartha went only once. Only once he saw a dead body. Only once he saw an old man. Only once he saw a sick man. That was it. Got transformed. Every day we are seeing dead people. Now TV has come, so much more. We don't have to go to the cremation ground. The cremation ground is there in our drawing room. Every day we see so many people dying. Every day we saw so many people sick. All suffering we see. But doesn't make any impact. Still, we don't come to senses. Something will come, that the same thing can come to us. We never think about it, and we don't want to think about it. That is the best part of it. We conveniently try to forget. That is why Yudhishthira was asked by Yaksha. In Mahabharata, you get the story, near the pond, all the brothers have died. Finally, Yudhishthira comes. Yaksha said, don't touch. Please answer my question, otherwise you will also die like this. Answer my questions. And then so many questions I asked, and Yudhishthira replies. One of the question is, Kim Ashcharyam. What is the most wonderful thing in the world? Now, had we been there, we would have immediately counted the 7 wonders of the world, and we would have included Taj Mahal also. But Yudhishthira was wise. He said, the most wonderful thing is, oh Yaksha, every day people are seeing in front of their eyes, people going towards the door of Yama, going towards death. Every day people are seeing going towards death, so many people going towards that, and yet everybody thinks he or she is never going to die. Never. This never comes to us. Whenever we are planning for unlimited time. We are planning as if we are going to say. The mother-in-law is very, very particular. The key remains with her. How long you will keep? How long? 90 years? 92 years? No, till the end. But after the end, that key will be taken. If you give willingly this key to your daughter-in-law, she will serve you. She may or may not serve you, but that key is going to go. So why not give up? When you give up voluntarily, it becomes renunciation. People give us great credit. Oh, you have renounced the world. What is the credit in that? Everybody is renouncing. And everybody is renouncing thoroughly. Swami Vivekananda says, none is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything. None is there but will be compelled in the long run to give up everything at the time of death. Everything has been left. Nothing you can take. You give up. But only thing, you give up weeping. I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up my body. I don't want to leave my relatives. I don't want to die. And you go on crying, crying, crying and finished. And there are some people who give up willingly. No, I donate. I give this. I give this. This is to my... I am free. Before death has overtaken, I am free. No bondages. What a wonderful thing. So this bondage is with the mind. It is the attachment that gives us the whole bondage. So Sri Ramakrishna says, live in the world. Of course, now knowing fully well that this is the death, should we all become monks? We will have to go to the forest. If we want to realize God, if we want to get infinite knowledge, bliss and existence, we all have to go become monks or go to the forest or go to Himalayas. Can we not realize God while living in the world? Sri Ramakrishna, yes, of course. You can realize God. You can get infinite happiness while living in the world. But remember one thing. If boat remains in water, doesn't matter. If the water enters the boat will sink. If you remain in the world, doesn't matter. If the world remains in your mind, if worldliness enters into your mind, if the attachment of the world enters your mind, you will sink. यदि नाव पानी में रहे तो कोई हरकत नहीं है, पर नाव में पानी रहे नाव डूब जाएगी. तुम संसार में रहो कोई बात नहीं, संसार तुम्हारे में रहेगा तो तुम डूब जाओगे. संसार में रहो पर संसार के प्रति आसक्ति तुम्हारे मन में ना हो. Then, while living in the world, converting work into worship, you can realize God. You don't have to give up anything. Your wife, your children, your husband, your mother-in-law, everybody will be there. Love everybody. But then, remember ultimate aim. So Sri Ramakrishna was asked, आपने तो कहा कि संसार में रहते हुए भी भगवान की प्राप्ति हो सकती है. You can realize God. अनासक्ति पूर्वक संसार करो. Remain in the world but without attachment. How can we remain in the world without attachment? And he gives a beautiful example. Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example. Live like a maid servant. बड़े घर की दासी के समान रहो. Live like a maid servant. बड़े घर की दासी माने पैसे वाले जो रहते उसके घर की दासी, उसके घर की काम वाली आया. बड़े घर की. That was a word used by Sri Ramakrishna. बड़े घर माने aristocratic family. So a rich family. So the landlady is very rich. Naturally, she is eating a lot of food. So naturally, she is very fat. So he can't work. So there is a maid servant, Aya. She does all the work of the house. And this Sethani, this lady, she cannot take care of her own child, Hari. So then what happens? This Aya, the maid servant, looks after that child, Hari also. And then she says, Beta Hari khale, Beta Hari nahale, Beta Hari ab school chal. She says, oh my dear Hari, please eat. Oh my dear Hari, please go to bed. Oh my dear Hari, please come to the school. She says like this, but whenever she says like this, she does not forget, this is not my Hari. My real Hari is in the village and he must be weeping there in the hut. She never forgets. Though she loves this Hari, and Hari also loves her so much that that child cannot remain without her. But at the same time, while she loves this child, she remembers, this is not my Hari. My real Hari is in the village. So what happens? One day, suddenly, accidentally, the beautiful new plate brought by the landlady is broken. by the maid servant. And the landlady becomes so much aghast with anger. Huh? You broke this new plate I brought from Japan? Get out. And the maid servant, she goes away. Why? She is not at all bothered. She will get a new job. But this landlady will not get another maid servant. Very difficult to get maid servant. So many people, they come to me. So many mothers come to me. Swamiji, the biggest, all this you are talking about management every day, nothing clicks. Why? Because the most important thing, how to manage my maid servant, that you have to tell. This is most important, how to manage my maid servant. First of all, I am not getting the maid servant. That is what I have to do. So what type of maid servant you want? I want a maid servant. पहले बात ऐसी मेरे को काम वाली चाहिए जो झटपट काम करे. एक धीरा काम मुझे पसंद नहीं है, झटपट काम करे. दूसरा, साफ सुथरा काम करे, गंदा काम मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है. और तीसरा, कम से कम छुट्टी ले. चौथा, सामने उत्तर न दे, मैं जो कहूं सुन ले. पांचवा, इशारे में समझे. शी शुड बी वेरी स्मार्ट, इशारे में समझे. और छठा, कम से कम सैलरी ले. और ऐसी मेड सर्वेंट मिलती नहीं है. And this management of maid servant, oh, big problem. Very difficult to get a good maid servant. And even if you get it, how to manage her. But the holistic style of management, if you apply, maid servant will become the crown of the glory of your house. And I have seen some maid servants who have become assets, and they have become so much big, so much good assets that the children, they respect those maid servants like Dadi. This is what I have seen. But she received so much of love. And she was given training. Naturally, I say, आप बोलती है इशारे में समझे, यदि इतनी इंटेलिजेंट रहती तो तुम्हारी बॉस नहीं बनती, तुम्हारे पास क्यों काम करने आती? नहीं है, वो बुद्धि कम है, इसीलिए तो आई काम करने के लिए. डफर जाओ ना, अमेरिका में मिलती है कोई? नहीं मिलती है. यहाँ डफर है, इसलिए आपके पास काम करना आई है. दिस वी फॉरगेट. So we have all types of queer requirements. We don't think about ourselves, how we are behaving with our maid servant. We are not giving even human treatment. Holistic management requires look upon every human being as divine. There is divinity within each and every human being. There is a Devi, there is a goddess sitting inside that maid servant. But we are not seeing even human being, and we ill-treat her. And we give whatever is leftover food, we give to her with lot of contempt, with lot of bad words. And so, what we get in return? Law of karma. So then she also does like that. So it is all give and take policy. First you give love, then receive love. Give good treatment, receive good services from the maid servant. So this management of maid servant again becomes very easy once we adopt this holistic style of management. Basically, looking upon each and every human being as divine. If we can adopt this principle, all the problems will be solved. Of course, it is difficult. It will not come in a day, because we have been habituated to work in different way. We have to start thinking in a different way. We have to have a paradigm shift in our thinking, looking upon each and every human being as divine. And there will be setbacks. In the initial stage, we will receive kicks. In initial stage, we will not get the result. But over a period of time, if we have patience, we will start getting the result. This, whatever I am telling, based on experiments. Experimentally verified. But you have to sacrifice. We have to be ready for sacrifice in the beginning. And then we start getting the result. So, this, Sri Ramakrishna says, live like a maid servant. बड़े घर की दासी के समान रहो. Not attached to anybody. She says, this is my house. She says, this is my Hari. And outwardly it appears she is so attached to this furniture, this and that. Every day she cleans and all that. But the moment the landlady said, get out, she goes smilingly, because she will get another job. Afterwards, this landlady will not get another job. Then another maid servant, then she will weep. Then she will be regretting, because afterwards no maid servant is possible. Then she has to do her own work. Then the bill comes of 5,000 rupees of physiotherapist. Then she says, better this plate only 500 rupees and I have lost 5,000 rupees. But that is a wisdom that has come too late. So, the thing is this. Sri Ramakrishna says, live in the world, but live like a maid servant. Unattachment. Not attachment is the main thing. So this is where we have to draw the line. Swami Vivekananda says, there are two types of people. Some people who have realized it is all hollow. There is nothing in this world. It is all hollow relationship. It is all hollow. It is all temporary, temporary, temporary. Everything going towards death. Everything going towards smashed. The whole world, every phenomena is going towards death. So it is all transitory. So I've got nothing to do with this world. And so I want infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite bliss. I want to realize God. So goes to the forest, gives up all the joys of the present day world, and does all sorts of austerities and kills himself day by day. Another person, he says, I am not bothered what happens after death, this and that, and what is the purpose of life. Hell with it. This life is like an ice cream. Before it gets melted, let me enjoy. And then I am least bothered what happens after death. And they suddenly find, but they do not know, by the time they are enjoying all these things, they get attached. They get attached. And at the time of death, oh, what a terrible suffering they undergo. What a terrible suffering. In the initial stage, they are so confident in themselves, all these people. But then, at the fag end of life, they become miserable. These are the two types of people, Swami Vivekananda says. One, those who want nothing to do with this present life. They want pleasures of the next world, for which they have given up the joys of the present world. There is another who have given up the joy of the next world and who are only engrossed in the joys of the present world. Swami Vivekananda says both have missed their goal. Both have missed their goal. What we should have infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge as our aim. At the same time, we must have whatever happiness, whatever bliss in the present day world also we should enjoy. Why not have both temporary and permanent pleasure? Why not both? So live in the world, enjoy the world, but don't get attached, because attachment gives the suffering. So living in the world, Padma Patra Vivam Vasa. This is what has been told. Now we come to management of relationships. And then we will come to the management of crisis. But before that, just some hints about management of relationships. Now, earlier we had discussed about management of relationship, the art of sharing and caring. And also we had series of lectures on happiness and peace in everyday life. I think many of you would have been present. I don't know how many of you are present. But in any case, what I thought is I will give you some homework, because only tomorrow is the last day in which we have to finish a lot of things. So you read that book, Happiness and Peace in Everyday Life, and Nurturing Relationships, Art of Sharing and Caring. You read that book, whatever I have told in those lectures, everything is there. And CDs are also there. Then another program was there, management of stress. That CD is available, you can go through it. That will reduce my work, because I have got so many other things to talk about. So these things you go, but I will just, for refreshing your memory, I'll very quickly go through the management of relationships, because that is a very important subject when we are talking about management of everyday life. So I had told at the time, management of relationship, nursing relationship, the art of caring and sharing. Nurturing relationship is like nurturing a plant. I had given that simile. When you want to nurture a plant, there are 7 things that are very important. Number 1, the soil should be good. The soil should be good. So the mind, your mind should be basically pure, should be good. Then only you can have good relationship with others. Number 2, fencing is required. A small plant requires guarding. So you must guard your children, guard the infants, guard the children. That is very necessary. Fencing is required. Otherwise, cows and goats will come and eat away the plants. Fencing is required. Fencing of discipline. That is fencing, discipline. Good behavior. Third, we want fresh air. The plant requires fresh air and sunlight. This will come, this means freedom. Then fourth, organic manure is required. organic manure, appreciation, humility, these all act like organic manure. I will not go into the details, I had already explained. Fifth is, but sometimes we get pest, so pest control is necessary. When the plant grows, when it grows, then you have to remove the fencing, otherwise the plant cannot grow. A time comes when you have to remove the fencing. Some people, they go on disciplining their children and don't allow the freedom to the children. With the result, the children become suffocated. So many children come to me. My mom loves me so much that I feel suffocated. She is so possessive about me. So try to give some space to your children. Don't suffocate your children. When they have grown up, you have to give them fresh sunlight. That is freedom you have to give. But at the same time, you have to keep a cautious watch. When the plant grows, before it has grown, of course, you must have fencing. But when it grows further, remove the fencing. Let the plant receive fresh air. So freedom is required. But controlled freedom for the children. Then pesticides. Pest control is a must. Pest comes. What is this pest control? Jealousy, anger, these are the things that spoil our relationships. So we have to provide some pesticides for pest control. What is that pesticide? The best pesticide is prayer. Prayer for the person for whom you feel jealous. That removes jealousy within us and jealousy within others. Prayer acts as a pesticide. Then we have to remove the weeds. Whether you like it or not, the weeds will come. When we are having a relationship, these weeds will come in the form of hankering for name and fame and power and position. At that time, we have to remove the weeds. How can we remove the weeds? By introspection. Whenever we come to know a particular relationship is failing, let us introspect. What has gone wrong? And you will find out there was something. This power, position, name, fame, some selfishness came, and that is removed. Now, with all those 6 things, the plant will not grow because the most important thing is missing. And what is that? Water. Without water, the plant cannot grow. Most important thing is water. And what is water? Love. Love is the most essential thing. Whether the relationship between parents and children, relationship between husband and wife, relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, relationship between friends, any type of relationship requires a love. Without love, relationship cannot grow, simply cannot grow. But when I was in Porbandar, we tried to give water to the plants, and yet the plants died. Why? Because it was saltish water. Now you understand why our relationships are failing, why we are not able to have good relationship in the family, why we are not having good family relationship, why we are failing relationship in spite of our so-called love, because it is saltish water. Selfish love is saltish water. It must be sweet water. Then the plant will grow, the plant of relationship. Similarly, most of our love is a selfish love. Swami Vivekananda says, we are all traders. We are all traders in life. Alas, we are traders in love also. I have given you 10 kg of love and you must give me 10 kg back, otherwise I will kill you. This is our love. Barter system. Even if 1 kg is less, I become disturbed. Expectation, selfishness, that destroys our relationship. So, love should be there, but not saltish love, not selfish love, unselfish love. Very difficult to find out. Very difficult. Normally in our relationship, this selfishness comes. First, we try to find out, what am I going to get out of this relationship? Unconsciously. You try to introspect why a relationship is failing. You will find out whenever selfishness enters, the relationship starts breaking. Wherever there is unselfishness, the relationship will grow. So, in a very brief manner, I have given whatever I had given at that time in detail, the 7 essential things of nurturing relationship, like nurturing a plant, and I have given some basic hints, tips on relationship. Number one, A, accept. Acceptance of the fact. Accept yourself, what I am, let me accept. And what a person, other person is, let me accept. This is what it is. We have to accept. He is what he is, and I am what I am. I know my limitations. Everybody has advantage, has some weaknesses. This person has so many weaknesses. With all the weaknesses of that person, I have to accept. There are only two ways, either accept or reject. Either accept, lovingly stay with him, or take divorce. There is no third way. So, why not accept? Every human being has got weaknesses. I accept that person with all the weaknesses. So, accept and also adjust. Adjust with that person. Adjustment is necessary. The whole life is nothing but adjustment. Swami Vivekananda wrote a beautiful letter to Miss Harriet Hell when she was going to get married, giving the letter of congratulation. And then he wrote, on a long run, my dear Harriet, you will find that life is nothing but a series of adjustments. And if you accept this, you will have a very good marital life. You will have a very good marital life if you can accept it, that life is nothing but a series of adjustments. You have to adjust with the situation, with the weaknesses of the other person, with the faults, with the shortcomings of the other person. You have to accept. If you can accept, you will have a very good relationship. Second, behavior. B, behavior. Depending on the conditions and the persons, we have to behave. Holy Mother Sharda used to say, Jekhane jemon, shekhane temon. Jar jemon, tar temon. Ar jethaye jemon, sethaye temon. That means, act according to the situation, the person, and the circumstances, and the requirements. You act like that. You have to adjust and adjust your behavior. So that is behavior pattern. You have to adjust. Third, communication. Most important thing. All our relationships, the most important thing, whenever there is a lack of communication, and whenever you find a relationship is failing, it is because of lack of communication. I thought you did like this, and that person thought you have done like this. It's communication. So communication gap has to be reduced if you really want a relationship to grow. Fourth is disciplining, dedication, and devotion. This D, that is discipline. Every love to grow, every relationship to grow requires disciplining and also some amount of dedication. It is both a two-way process. One person going on dedication and devotion, and the other person is at the receiving end. This will not grow. Both the persons have to go for these three. That is discipline, dedication, and devotion. And then fifth is emotional intelligence, empathy, not only sympathy, but empathy. If empathy is there from both the sides, then the relationship will grow. And sixth is forbearance, and forget and forgive. Be ready for forgetting and forgive. Jo ho gaya so ho gaya, बीती ताही बिसार दे, आगे की सुध ले. Some people, they remember, 6 years back, you told me like this. 6 years back. But in between so many times, he gave you so many gifts, birthday gifts, and everything you've forgotten. That 6 years back, what you had told on that particular spot, I still remember. Forget and forgive. Ho gaya so ho gaya. Sab galti sabhi se hoti hai. Now, at present, you go to the present situation. So forget and forgive, and forbearance. The management of family, I had told at that time. So at present, this management of family is very important. So I'll give you that example. Holy Mother Sharda Devi used to say, Sri Ramakrishna also used to say, you see, when you go for the alphabets, every alphabet comes once. Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. Whether in Hindi or Gujarati, you find out every alphabet. But one alphabet comes thrice. What is that? Sa, Sha, Sha. What is the message? Sahan karo, sahan karo, sahan karo. That is the message. For a successful family relationship, sahan karo. Or Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Je soy, say roy. Je na soy, say na roy. That means those who forbear, they will remain. That is, they will be alive. And those who will not tolerate or who will not forbear, they will be destroyed. Forbearance is a must. If we want to have good family relationship, if we want to have good relationship with anybody, forbearance. In the 16th century, the Prime Minister in Japan was O.